You haven't spoke yet, have you?
I have.
Okay.
Ronnie, I won't talk about your age. You wouldn't remember it even if I did. He asked for that. But I prepared a 25-minute speech, and Ronnie asked me to stretch it out a little bit. So I hope everybody's good and comfortable. No, I'll try to keep it down. I'll tell you this, Richard. I'm not taking Larry's double vote as a double vote. He got a pass on the first time. The second time he had a choice, even in retrospect, to do the right thing and to end Obamacare, and he voted no. That's his last position. That is his position. That is a position that is against a majority, not just of Republicans, but a majority of the American people. They well knew this, all the Democrats who rammed this down our throat. And what I like to tell people who are out in the audiences when I speak is that elections really, really matter. And if you look at the fact that all the pollsters were telling the people in the Congress and telling President Obama that they didn't want Obamacare, they didn't want government-run health care, they didn't want any part of this. And you look at all the folks, and a lot of them in this room that went with me and with Neil, with AFP on the buses, and we wrote the letters and we made the phone calls, and we tried to tell these Democrats, you know, this socialist policy is not good for America. It's not even good for your re-election chances, Mr. Kissel, if you're watching on the video you're taking. And they didn't listen. They didn't listen. You know, they rammed it down our throats anyway. And so what did we do? We got really, really upset. We rose up from our couches. We went out and we won an election in 2010. And Nancy Pelosi, who didn't care what we thought when she passed that crazy bill, now nobody cares what Nancy Pelosi thinks. Right? So that's what elections are good for. Absolutely no point in trying to talk socialist Democrats into good conservative policy. The only thing you can do with guys like Larry Kissel and guys like Barack Obama is go out, win elections, beat them, and then vote for good conservative policy and show America, show the people who don't know what good conservative policy can do for them, how we can grow our economy and do what's good for America with conservative policy. How many people in here, you mentioned Reagan's 11th commandment. I haven't broken Reagan's 11th commandment. I know most of you know this, but for those who don't, it just says don't speak ill of another Republican. Now, Larry Kissel, that doesn't apply to, does it, Ron? All right, I just want to make sure before I go any further. But Ronald Reagan's chief economic advisor, I want to brag a little bit, because last week, Ronald Reagan's chief economic advisor, Art Laffer, who was with him for 8 years, and how many people know what the Laffer curve is? What the Laffer curve is it explains that if we can grow the economy with tax cuts, that we literally can increase the revenue to the government even though we've cut the taxes, right? And that's been conservative knowledge for a long time, and he explained that very well, and Ronald Reagan explained it very well. And so, oh, the bragging part, I forgot about the bragging part. Art Laffer calls me up last week and said, Scott, I would like to endorse you to run against Larry Kissel in the 8th District. I'd like to endorse you, and would that be okay? And I said, you know, I was dumbstruck. I couldn't even hardly speak, but yes, sir, that'd be great. And so he endorsed me last week, and I guess what I'm trying to say is Ronald Reagan's policies worked. Cutting the tax rates grows the economy. It grows the economy, and it also grows the revenue for the government. Now, I want you to know I'm not the least bit interested in how much revenue the government has, to be frank with you. What I'm interested, though, in is how much revenue that you have, okay? How much do you have to spend? Because right now, government is taking about 25% of what you spend, and then they're going in debt and taking some of your children's money. Now, I've taken way too long. I told you 25 minutes, and I'd stretch it to 30, but it's been 4 or 5, and I'm going to sit down. But hopefully you go to my website. It's www.keadle.com. There's a whole lot about me. Please do a lot of research. I'm very proud of what I'm standing for. I've published a 10,000-page document called The Plan for America. I'm a dentist from down in Salisbury. I've been practicing for 22 years. I've been a small businessman. I'm a husband and a father of two beautiful young daughters, and I'd be very honored to have your vote on July 17th. Thank you very much. Next up is Fidel Castro in